Welcome to the Richard Stewart Show. My name is Richard Stewart. I'm a former national team player for the Canadian national team who won a silver medal for Canada in the 91 games in Sheffield, England. I also played at St. Joseph's University NCAA Division I in the Atlantic 10 Conference.
Stewart again down the lane, no foul, they let him have it. Richard has 19.
Currently, I own Advanced Basketball Canada, a program that teaches kids how to play basketball from the fundamentals to the more advanced. Two of the notable players that I've trained are Dillon who plays for the Memphis Grizzlies,
and Brooks will go and jam it with the right hand off the setup by Moran.
And Ignas Brazdeikiz,
Brazdeikiz to steal, some contact, and we play on. Brazdeikiz,
who plays for the New York Knicks. I also train ladies, and the ladies that are in university and have played in Europe as well. So I have a lot of ladies who have trained and are playing basketball. Welcome to the Richard Stewart Show. My name is Richard Stewart. On today's program, we have a treat for you. All right, I got two great co-hosts with me today. Aman, who was a student of mine, graduate with a degree in engineering, and also is one of my assistants, a great advanced basketball trainer as well. I wish I could get him more, but he's going on to bigger and greater things. Here on my left is Matt Marzetti, a great player as well. They both played high school basketball out here in Oakville, and is in pre-law right now. So once again, I've got two intelligent guys with this guy here who is not so intelligent. All right? So these guys are going to help me and bring my IQ level up because theirs is so high. Here's what the program is about today. I have a special guest. Oh my gosh. I mean, big time. A man who met Barack Obama, a man who met mayors, a man who met our RCMP and gave them instructions and briefings, a man who I'm just proud of. My former teammate and roommate at St. Joseph's University, his name is Marlon Miller. He's a retired special agent in charge, United States Department of Homeland Security. So, we have a special guest here. So I want to bring him on right now. Marlon, how are you, my friend? Thank you for coming on the program.
I am doing very well, Richard. I am doing very well. Hope you're doing well as well.
I am, sir. It's warm here in Toronto. What's it like in Philly? You're a New York boy, but you live in Philly now. What's that like?
Yeah, it's about 80 muggy. But Philadelphia is my second home because of the time I spent here at St. Joe's. So between here and New York, it's two homes, and it's all good.
How's mom and dad? I miss those two people. They treated me so well when I was at your house. You took me to New York to hang out with you for a while. How's mom and dad?
They're doing very fine. They're retired. They're down in Virginia Beach area and loving life down there. Just laying low and just enjoying the grandkids and just enjoying life.
I love hearing that. Make sure you call your mom every day, man. Your mom was a great lady, man. So make sure you call your mom every day. She's such a great lady, and she treated me so well. Let me ask you something, man. There's one thing that I don't know a lot about was your playing days in New York City, playing high school basketball. I mean, it's ultra competitive there. A lot of talent. Tell me what was that like for you?
It was awesome. Started off. I played basketball in grammar school and worked my way up to go to high school, and that's when it got really competitive. Basketball can't help to advance my skills, but just playing every day and then getting to know and play with the players that were actually the premier players, older than I was at the time, so that helped out a lot. And then learning about the club teams in New York City. The club teams were the elite teams in New York. One was Riverside Church, one was the Gauchos, and I was fortunate enough to play at Riverside Church. And a lot of the well-known talent that came out of New York either played for one of those two club teams. So I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I was very, very lucky and blessed to play with a lot of these talented players out of New York City.
Nice.
To change track a little, I wanted to ask you about your time working with the Department of Homeland Security. I was wondering if you could share your most memorable experience.
Probably one of the most memorable experiences. I was trained at technical operations, but basically had the ability with myself and my partner to put put in audio and video equipment into locations surreptitiously. So there was a case we were called in on a money launderer, and we needed to surreptitiously enter the business, put in microwavable wire audio and video out, and it was just like the Mission Impossible type thing. And we were able to get in and get out, and then successfully have that office video, money being counted, money being snuck out of the country, and make arrests. So that was like one of the memorable things in the career. I've had 28 years in the career, so I have a few others.
Wow, 28 years. Well, I thought you'd have went with Barack Obama, but you know what? That stuff that's cool too. I mean, Mission Impossible stuff. I mean, bugging places, seeing what's going on. They don't know you're looking. That's awesome, man. You being with you in university was I never thought you'd be with the FBI. Why did you choose the FBI? Well, how did that come about?
Well, the FBI is in a different department.
Mm-hmm.
The FBI is in the Department of Justice.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in the Homeland Security. Department of Homeland Security was formed after 9/11.
True.
And it merged a lot of agencies together: Secret Service, U.S. Customs, Coast Guard. But so DHS, the Homeland Security, has the investigative arm that handled a lot of investigations that were border related.
Oh, so that's what happened after 9/11. They actually, some of the FBI's responsibilities were taken away, and Homeland Security got most of that stuff. Because I thought it was the same enforcement arm. No.
No, separate enforcement arm, and although FBI does have some international investigations that touch overseas, the U.S. Customs Service is a border service agency that handle a lot of in and out of the country, merchandise coming in and out of the country. So although we handle international, they handle domestic investigations. We still work together in a lot of joint investigations. So they handle domestic stuff, bank robberies, and some other sundry things. But Department of Homeland Security was a more border-centric agency. I
understand. That's clear now. I didn't know that before. Okay.
So, Marlon, I wanted to ask you, Richard mentioned that you guys were roommates back at St. Joe's.
That's where this is going.
Hey, I'm keeping it as family show. So how was Richard as a roommate? Did he snore? Did he stink? What was this guy like?
He didn't clean up after himself.
No, Richard's a good roommate, and it was interesting because they paired us up together freshman year right off the bat, and I got to meet, and they tried to put Richard and I in a room that was probably half the size.
I know. Yeah, I remember that.
yeah, and but we were able to work it out. The coaches came over and fixed it, so we had a pretty decent room. But yeah, Richard and I shared a lot of funny stories, laughs, and got to talk to him. He got hooked me into some reggae music, and hooked him into some rap music, and we're going back and forth in the room, just listening to stuff. So it was good experience. We had a good time.
Yeah, we had a great time. I mean, I remember you had that little room they put us in, and your mom's like, this room was too small for you two big guys, and we got to a different room. Love your mom. And as roommates and teammates, like, we had some great times. There's some nice clubs. There's some nice parties. We worked hard on the court. We had some good times. We had some times when we struggled. I got to see Marlon become an all-star. I was so proud of him. And he became an all-star. Mark Macon out of Saginaw, Michigan. Why is Saginaw, Michigan important? Draymond Green came from Saginaw, Michigan. Tough basketball players. So we were playing against guys like that. A big guy by the name of, what was his name? Green. Remember Green with that dunk on Henry? Oh my God, the guy was like 6'10", muscles up to here. And he came on one of our guys and dunked it on him and then looked down at him as the guy fell to the ground. And everybody in the bench was like, oh, so... But Henry, rest in peace. That teammate passed away. But my gosh, it was ugly. So Marlon was a great player. He was a great player. And just like any other roommates, we had our contentious times sometimes. Sometimes I was insensitive, so I'll take blame for that. But we were always good to each other, and we always respected each other. And I love him. And I remember Marlon drove over. I think he was supposed to do a briefing with the RCMP, and he drove over and visited me. I was doing a basketball camp at University of Toronto here in Mississauga, and it was just a thrill to see him. And he looks the same to me. Everything's the same to me, just the same. But an all-star, and a guy I think who could have played in the league. But you know what happens? Sometimes you're in a school and things don't mesh, and the right chemistry's not there, and the right type of point guard to get us the ball all the time. We had some good guys. Ray Washington was a good point guard. Ivan Pick Brown early was a good point guard for us, but didn't finish school. But we had some good times, man. We had some really good times. So tell me, what's going on with you with the kids, man? What are the kids like? What's going on with your kids? Tell the folks about your children.
They're great. They're a boy and a girl. They're twins, 6 years old, and going through stages with young kids and being as senior as I am, that you go through the terrible 2s, 3s, 4s, and the no-nos, but they're great kids, and they're definitely, at least my son's going to be a monster.
He's already big, huh?
I mean, they're big for their age, nice. But they're definitely, he's starting to eat more and more and more, and eat more frequently, which is funny, but. Yeah, I enjoy a lot of time, spending a lot of time with them, and I guess the thing to take from, what's going on now in the pandemic, it allows us to spend a lot more time at home with them. They may not totally understand what's going on, but it's just good to spend a lot of this time with them at this young stage, because as they get older, you know how it's going to be. The kids get teenagers, and they're like, Mom and Dad, I'm busy. I'll be with my friends at their house, and so I'm trying to take advantage of these younger years now.
True.
Hey, Marlon, do your kids know how good you were as a baller, or do you downplay it a lot?
I would like to thank our sponsor.
No Sugary Snacks! No Sugary Snacks! No Sugary Snacks! No Sugary Snacks!
You know what? They really don't know. They know I played basketball, but they really don't know. I haven't really showed them any videos, anything like that. I'm waiting till my son really gets involved in basketball before I spring that on him.
Okay, do you have, you remember that movie Meet the Fockers? Do you have a secret room in your house? And do you call your FBI agent friends to spy if your daughter has a boyfriend coming over? Will you do that? Will you? Run a background check.
It's funny. No secret room. I've been to offices that are, in areas that you're not suspected that they're offices. But I'm thinking down the road, once my daughter starts
dating
with kids, I'm gonna be like, hey, let me talk to you for a second.
You're gonna install a pretty advanced security system.
An advanced security system with surveillance. You're gonna look at that guy and say, hey, come here, let me talk to you. You know what I used to do? I love it.
See these awards on the wall and that stuff. And
paintings that eyes follow you.
That I have in my pocket. Yeah, you see? Yeah.
Like you're 99% proficient on the gun range. That plaque? Can I show him that plaque?
Yeah, you see these targets I have down in the basement? Yes.
I love it. That's good parenting. That is good parenting. Got to protect those daughters, because
yes,
you and I. Well, I'm not. It's a family show. We know how boys are in university, and let's keep it at that. Go ahead,
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So, are your kids showing any interest in sports yet that you find they're gonna gravitate towards? Anything?
Yeah, my daughter likes soccer.
Okay. Good.
And my son likes right now baseball.
Good.
And basketball. Unfortunately, since the basketball doesn't get more and more involved until he gets to be in first grade, which is this year.
Yeah.
But the other couple of years, it's just been pass the ball, kick the ball, everyone dive on the ball. I mean, nothing really substantial.
The herd mentality. Hey, you know what I'm interested in knowing? What was it like to meet Barack Obama? That's my thought. What was it like, man?
It was really nice, because I was in Michigan, and a buddy of mine that works for the Secret Service said, hey, Barack Obama will be in town, and you can get a Polaroid with the president. I said, I'm like, sure, I'm up for that. So it's like myself, the U.S. Attorney, the head of the state police for Michigan State Police, and then there was one other person that was there. It was just like four of us, and we're like some side room that they had while he was at this rally. And I walk in, and my buddy with Secret Service said, sir, this is Marlon Miller with Homeland Security, and then the president goes, I need him on my team. I just posted him down in the hole, just giving the ball all day.
So he knew you were a ball player. I love that.
Yeah. So, and then my buddy made a mistake. He said, he played for St. John's University. And I'm like, nah, man. I played for St. Joseph's University in Philadelphia. And then the president's like, yeah, I know St. Joe's in Philly. So, we took a picture, shook hands, and I went off. And then my buddy apologized like an hour later. Said, oh, man, I'm sorry. He really likes to talk sports, and I should have let you have some more time with him because you guys could have chatted about basketball and sports and that stuff. And I said, next time he comes through, we can get that together. And it never happened, but I was very happy that I had a chance to meet him.
You know what? That story you just told. You know what's interesting about that? That he knew. That he remembered that you're a ball player. That high-level politicians and intelligent folks like that, it's amazing how they catch on to stuff. He has a list of things at a rally. He's thinking about this. He's thinking about that. World domination by the Chinese or whatever else is going on. Russia wants to bomb somebody. And he remembers that you're a ball player. I want to feed you the ball down low. He wants you on his team. Would you not have loved to have played ball with him at the White House in their gym? Wouldn't you have loved that, bro?
I know. It would have been great. And there's always rumors of chances to get over there and play in this game. But when I was in D.C., I just never had an opportunity to do so.
Oh man, Marlon, I'd have been jealous then. I'm not jealous of you, but I would be jealous of you then, boy. You know what I mean? I've been jealous of you, boy. If you played ball with Obama, okay, you know that set of pick and he'd have rolled to the left. He has a left-hand jumper. You know what I mean, bro? And if he didn't pass you the ball, cutting to dunk, and I was like, yo, man, pass the rock. So when you're playing ball, probably pass the rock, Barack. When you're a ball player, you're a ball player. When you get off, it's a different story. But off the court's a different story. But when you're balling, we ball, right?
Marlon,
That's awesome.
I got a question about the White House basketball court because it was brought in as soon as Obama took the presidency from George Bush. Do you know at all if Donald Trump has reversed that at all? It seems like something he might do.
Yeah, you know what? I don't know because once the administration changed, a lot of my ties to friends that work with Secret Service that are tied to the White House, they all moved on. So a lot of intricacies that I knew, I just were out of the loop. Because I know back when President Obama was there, I got to tour the White House and stuff like that. Even back before then, when Bush was in office, I got a tour of the White House. But yeah, I kind of lost my inner hooks. Yeah,
you know what? I don't think people here in Canada understand that when a new administration comes in, everything changes. A lot of people roll over, and the president or whoever it is wants their own folks in it. It's a little worse now because the Secret Service and folks in Homeland Security just care about the country and its safety. Right. It's not a partisan thing, but Trump has made it more of a partisan thing where if you're not having fealty to me personally, then he doesn't want you around. But these guys have been there to protect the country, and they swear an oath to the Constitution. Yeah, and not to the person. And so a lot of things, so when Marlon's saying that a lot of guys move on, things change, some guys just naturally go, but a lot of people, because of they're not bowing down to this administration, they have to move on. And it's a shame because you're supposed to follow the Constitution, not the person. You have a question for Marlon before we go, Armand?
So you are retired now from Homeland Security?
Correct, yes.
So how's that been now, moving on to, a different stage of life?
Golfing, getting fat, what is going on? Tell us the truth.
No, it's good, I always heard in the past from talking to other retired agents, you'll know when it's your time, and got to the point where the fun wasn't there. I mean, I've been a boss running an office like the last 6 years, and you just see that it's time to move on and let the younger people come up and kind of take over and move the vision of the agency. And 28 years is a long time, and I built up a good nest egg as far as the retirement, and it affords me time to spend time with the kids. I mean, I started work at 21. So it's a long time, and okay, let me enjoy this now.
Yep. Hey, something I ask everyone: why did you choose St. Joseph's University?
It came down to two colleges, and and St. Joe's came out because one, I had family that lived right behind St. Joe's. I had an uncle and a cousin, and then my aunt lived in West Philly.
Right.
And the other thing was, I got to meet the players and the coaches, and that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then for the students, but then knowing that they had a tie to the Sixers, and for years I was a Dr. J fan. So, you know, that kind of pulled me in right there, knowing that they practiced in the same gym. We shared the same locker rooms, you remember? So that was like a win.
Hey, brother, that's the same thing. I try to tell people the experience. When Phil Martelli, who's now with Michigan with Juwan Howard, when Phil Martelli came up here to recruit me, and I went on my visit to St. Joe's, Big Rod, Jimmy O were given an envelope and say, okay, take care of Richards. And then guess what happened? I go through the training room. Dr. J's there getting massaged. And I was like, he's my hero, man. And I patterned my game after Dr. J. And when I shook Dr. J's hand, my hands are big. He had my hand in his hand like I was a baby. You know you hold a baby's hand? He had my hand wrapped like 3 times. I'm like, my hands are big though. I'm like, look at this guy, like, whoa. And I was starstruck. And then, they showed me where the Sixers, they took me toward the whole city, saw where the Sixers played the Spectrum. It was a Spectrum back then, remember, Marlon? And then, and then they practiced, and Dr. J would retire the next year. And then Charles Barkley's locker was beside mine, and Rick Mohorn. And then they had Manute Bol came in. Remember those guys? Yeah? Hershey Hawkins, Maurice Cheeks, Gerald Henderson. Remember those guys?
Oh, yeah.
Terrence Witherspoon. So they were in the same locker rooms as us. So Canadians don't understand that. They think that it was separate. But no, all over the United States, NBA teams practiced at local universities and used their locker rooms. But because of security and how things changed, they built their own. Every NBA team now has their own facility. Right. So we used to. I scrimmaged with Charles for a little bit and around those guys, and my girlfriend at the time had babysat for Maurice Cheeks. So we were on the Sixers all the time. Remember when Charles came to the Palestra to watch one of our games?
He would come by himself or come with his wife. I mean, they were really tight with our team. You know, it's funny, you remind me of a funny story about dealing with Charles Barkley. So, you know how many times they would leave sneakers in the locker room for us, and a lot of the tall guys left like size 16, 15. So we're like, okay, you know. So one time I go in the locker room, and a pair of Charles Barkley's, he had the red, white, and blue Nikes in the locker room. So I'm like, cool. You know, let me grab these bad boys, and I take them back to McShane, to the dorm room.
Sure.
And I'm showing everyone on the hall. I got Barkley's shoes. Like, get out of here. I got Barkley's shoes. I'm shining them up and making them all clean and everything. I got them. Next thing you know, Phil Martelli starts calling around everyone. Hey, Charles Barkley's looking for his sneakers. he was gonna auction them off at some auction and for charity. I'm like, are you kidding me? I don't know who took them. I don't care who took them. Just somehow get back there.
Oh my!
Because I learned in my surreptitious entry, I have to get back in the locker room, put them back, and me.
So you were practicing for Homeland Security. You're surreptitious. Hey, you know what? Gerald Henderson gave me a pair of shoes. He wore a size 15, man, and I'm a 13. I'm like, come on, So I had those for a while. So all right, yeah, double socks. I wore double socks all the time. Anyway, listen, Marlon, just so much more to talk with you about. I'm gonna have you back on the program in the future, man. I'm just so grateful and thankful that you were able to join us today and be a part of my program. God bless you, my friend, and thank you. Okay, thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Very great talking to you, and nice meeting you guys as well.
Nice meeting you, Marlon.
All right, that was Marlon Miller, ladies and gentlemen, a former special agent in charge of Homeland Security. Most importantly, a friend of mine and an alumni of St. Joseph's University, an all-star, NCAA all-star. Just a wonderful man from a wonderful family, and I just want to thank him for being on the program today. I want to thank Matt, my co-host, and Amon, my co-host, for being with me today. Both these guys added so much to the program, so thank you guys. All right? Remember what we say here in Advanced Basketball. Little things turn into big things. God bless you.